For those of you who are watching this video, let me just kind of give you a little context for, what this video is all about. So I am getting ready to launch a new program within my Powerful Manifestor Mastermind, which is a community that exists on Skool, and I am attracting into this group a very specific group of people who are like maybe I was at one point in my career, who are spiritual coaches, healers, hypnotists, who have been struggling to break through that 10K barrier. So many people, that's a goal of theirs. And I've done it. I've helped a lot of people do that and, in different ways. And so that's what the purpose of my school is going to be. It's a 6 month program, the fast way to 10K. So I have just been talking to a few of the people who have either only recently started working with me, like a lot of the people in my school group have started to, break through, have amazing breakthroughs, like going from 0 to 5,000 in a month. And so, of course, people can do this in 6 months. And then I'm also tapping into some of my clients who have been with me for the long haul, like Patty. And so, just to talk a little bit about, because Patty has had amazing success. I mean, I just interviewed one of my gals who has been a hypnotist for the last 5 years. She just had her first 6K month. Patty just had her first 6K day. So
Way more than that. But
way
yeah,
more than that. Okay, so I'm gonna be really interested. And she attributes this, this work. I mean, it starts somewhere. She didn't just like all of a sudden start listening to these programs and working with me in the various different ways that she has. Because, you've taken a number of my courses
a
and
number,
a number of my courses.
a
And
lot.
so, if this one is pinpointed on this very specific goal, I mean, I'm just showing you what's possible. So getting back to so Patty, before she ever met me, let's talk about where you were in your, in your life. Fine, just mostly we're
Where a
talking about
lot
the
of people
financial.
are when they're at or approaching 50. A lot of things have happened in life, and some of us can be in a great place, and some of us can be really lost. Okay, I happen to be in the really lost. Uh, Circling a drain. I mean, for lack of a better term, every part of my life was off. There was a red the red dial was on everything, whether it was my weight, whether it was on my emotions, whether it was on my level of depression, my level of energy, my level of fitness, my finances, my desire to what I called want to. I mean, there was I want to fix these things, but want to wasn't enough. The want to just wasn't getting me there.
Yeah.
So I knew some things about hypnosis from the 70s, not a lot. Dabbled in it, created my own self hypnosis to solve something. And it actually worked. And I was, in high school, college, and it worked amazingly. It was my own little thing. I read in a tape recorder and listened to it. So I searched out some things, checked reviews, and it had to be at least 15 years ago, if not longer. And I found you for a specific issue that I had, which at the time was the 278 pounds of weight I was carrying. Met you through your customer service portal, and we talked a little bit about me, and you listened. And we changed what I was going to listen to completely. And we went with goal achievement. That was the first thing. And it's still to this day my number one go to.
That's
And
amazing. So let's talk about specifically where you were at business-wise before you started this process. So, just like, did you have a business? Did you have an idea? What was going on there?
Into a business, meaning I had a job doing a certain thing, and I developed a certain niche in that company, and they no longer wanted the niche, which I liked. I believed in the niche. I had a belief. I
Hmm.
believed in the niche.
Yeah.
So I started my own company. Um, yes, I knew probably enough about business maybe to do this, but then realized there's a whole lot I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, I was by myself, not very technically savvy. Lucky to Google. Let's put it this way, lucky to be able to order on Amazon. That was about the extent of my internet savviness. So I'm going through the hypnosis, having kind of put a lot of faith in goal achievement and seeing some responses in different areas of my life. I said, well, why not try this one called Internet Savvy? I mean, what do I got to lose, right? I'm just going to pop it in and listen to it while I sleep, no less. No idea what it said during Internet Savvy. It was about 3 days later, something came over me. I got on the computer. I don't know what I did exactly because this was 15 years ago. But within 1 to 2 days, I had a full website that I created. Like I would know how to do that. I would not. And you could, my company provides things with logos on them. So I created this website that people could upload their logo. Imagine that. I mean, I showed it to my daughter and she was like, and you did that by yourself? I did that by myself. I mean, it didn't even seem like a rabbit hole. I don't know how I did it. Our first order came from Australia. We're in Florida, and it was able to accommodate worldwide orders. And I mean, I did it. So that one step was my first $10,000 a month, right there.
Amazing. Well,
Because, yeah.
taking a step back, so before that happened, so you went from you were working and then your job became obsolete, so you decided to start a business. Um, Now, before you started listening to the Internet Savvy, what was going on like with your business? Like, how did you feel? How long did it take you before you decided to start listening to that program?
Um, I would say it was when I was sitting struggling financially, and a thought through probably goal achievement came to me that what you need is a website. What
Yeah.
you need is to understand internet marketing. The voice said to me, your marketing degree is from 1978.
Uh-huh.
Um, the whole world is on the internet doing things, and you need to too. So, okay, well, that didn't solve the problem. It just brought something to light that
Yeah.
I'm going to have to understand. Of course, I sought out companies how to build a website
Hmm.
for like $10,000 that I didn't have.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're back to the drawing board, and I've discovered back in those days I only had Hip Talk. But I knew how to get on your website and see what you had.
Hmm.
And then I spotted that, which I know is now on Believe, and there was, and it was $9 and something. Okay, my return on investment has been astronomical. So, I mean, I spent hundreds. I don't even think I've spent thousands in all the time I've known you, but yet I've made millions. So I'm not going to complain about the ROI.
No,
I
not at
really can't
all.
complain about the ROI. I'm grateful you don't have a clause that we have to give you a percentage of. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
truth. But the
that's
business connects with little. Then I moved on in your business apps like cold calling, attracting customers. These actually worked. I don't know how they worked. I had to trust the process. Did I believe customers would contact me? Yes. Did I believe it was solely because I listened to your app? No. But I know that as we think, it is shouted from the rooftops. which is to say, you've got me thinking through hypnosis subconsciously that I'm attracting customers. So somewhere in the universe, I'm shouting from the rooftops that I'm attracting customers. Okay.
Amazing. Yeah. How long did it take you from the moment that you left your job to making 10,000 your first month? How long did that take?
It was a couple years for
Okay.
me, only because it took me that long to find you. I mean, I'm being honest with you, okay? I mean, I was floundering and doing what everybody does,
So
trying to figure it out
that's
on
the
their own.
part I want to know what was the struggle between the time you left your job and then finding me. I want to take you back to what was it like before that confidence
A
kicked in.
daily struggle,
Hmm.
an absolute daily struggle. I had no idea where money was coming from. I think every new business owner can say that. They have no idea where money is coming from.
Yeah.
They can create a business plan, which I did. Former marketing director, I was able to create that. But
Hmm.
I was missing so many pieces that I actually knew, but didn't know that I knew. Maybe
Yeah.
because I hadn't used them in decades. Maybe because they were buried within me. Maybe because somebody else was making those moves for me. I don't know the reasons,
Yeah.
but it was a deadly struggle.
Yeah. What was the biggest frustration that made you realize that something needs to change, that you needed help?
I think it's always a combination of stress and finances.
Yeah.
Stress is emotional. Um, Finances can cause some of it. Businesses are expensive. Even a work from home business has expenses. You need platforms, you need this, you need that, you need licenses, you need things. Okay, those things cost money whether you're making money or not. And I'm not even talking about having any staff or having any brick and mortar. I'm
Yeah.
talking about real life. You have just signed yourself up for $3,000 a month or $8,000 a month or whatever, and you have no guarantee of what's coming in. So that developed stress.
Yeah.
And I was a woman at the time with no savings, no
Yeah.
credit. I mean, the fact that and I was depressed. So to bring all this together into what it's become,
Yeah.
I couldn't have been more grateful or thankful that
Yeah.
I found you and that somehow within me, I had the burning desire to trust the process.
Was there a specific moment? So going back to, you were feeling this moment, this block, this stress, like something had to change. You kind of realized something's got to change. Was there a specific moment like where you just kind of like realized I just can't keep doing it this way anymore?
Yeah, it was more of a constant moment,
Yeah.
as well as opposed to a specific moment. It was a building up of things. But remember, I started with goal achievement on some little personal goal, okay, and I saw progress coming that this is I'm changing. What I do, who I am, how I'm looking at things is changing. So if it can change in my personal life with this one little thing I wanted to achieve, then why not look and see what's for business? Because that's
Yeah.
really an area that if I can change, then it's going to have a big effect on all the other personal things. So it was the two dots connecting. If this one's working, maybe there's other things. So I looked.
So what made what so what so this is that turning point for you. So what is it that actually made you um decide to go ahead and well, so normally this is where I would ask what made you decide to join Powerful Manifestor Mastermind, but for you, I'm just going to ask like what made you decide I'm going to go all in on this program.
It worked. I mean, you want the simple answer. It worked. I
Yeah.
mean, uh, everybody looks at the value of something. What I'm going to give, whether it's a pair of shoes or this program or a car or whatever it is. Okay, I'm going to give something. a value proposition. I'm going to give something in exchange. I'm going to get something. I want to get the better of the deal. We all want to get the better of the deal, the better
Yeah.
shoes, the better whatever. I'd already been getting the better deal. So
Yeah.
this was a no-brainer. I mean, I'm already getting the better deal.
So after starting to listen to and work with the program, what what was it about that? Like what ultimately, I think you mentioned, you started just getting ideas that said, do this, do that. So tell us in your own words, like, so from where you started listening and you started reprogramming yourself for success, what happened? Take us to that breakthrough moment where it's like, I finally had my first $10,000 month.
It was pretty simple. I was listening to Internet Savvy, and uh, which tells you nothing about how to build a website. Um, which I thought, how am I going to do this if it's not telling me how? I mean, that was my thought process because I'm like most people, you're not telling me where to go or what to do. You're not giving me the one, two, three steps. So how is this going to work? Well, I didn't give up, and I probably only listened to it for 3 sessions. And my mind said, well, you need to get on the computer. And do what? You need to get on the computer. So there wasn't more to that except get on the computer and do as I've done before. I felt like I was repeating old steps, how to build a website. What else was I going to Google? Um, then my little search engine typing became more defined, I think, because of taking the hypnosis class. How to build a website if you don't know how? How to build a website if you have no internet background? Different things that led me to something that was like, I mean, the first one that I worked with the new mindset, it worked. It only took me a couple days to do everything with all the images, and I was just amazed. Okay,
Now
it's just
I love that story. I love that story because that's so potent. Because so many people, that's what they get caught up in is the how. And,
big time, big.
and even I, definitely, get caught up in that how. And so I think this is so potent because the thing is that now, like, so $10,000 months is like, that's like, you'd never even have anything below that. Fast forward to where so that was back, you broke through that back in, you know, 2011, right?
Mhm.
So here we are in 2026. And so just to show people like what's actually possible, what has transpired for you and your business since then?
Millions, the best way to put it. I mean, hundreds of thousands a day, some days, some days only 20, but I'm not complaining, you know. And it's not to say that we don't have bad days, bad weeks, bad months, situations that come up, but I don't worry about the situations anymore. I have this incredible, and I'm not going to use the religious term of faith, but faith is what it is. It's a proof of things you can't see. So when things don't look right, it's just because I can't see them look right doesn't mean they're not right. Okay. So I know that if it gets really bad, and not to say it hasn't since 2011, I could go right back to my goal achievement. Okay. I mean, you have to just sometimes back up to the beginning to where it started and restart yourself. And personally that I've had to do that
Yeah,
at
absolutely.
know and
But what's the difference now in the way you think about those challenges versus how you thought about them before?
well, I've had to go on to fear of success in your hypnosis. I've had to go on it. I probably and we've discussed the when you're thinking you're something you're not, or afraid you're thinking you're something you're not. Imposter.
Syndrome.
Because how does this happen to me? Okay, who died and left me in charge? Okay, what happened here? And and then look at an overall situation and say, well, I have a lot of eggs in that one basket. I need to be careful over there, or whatever it is. My mind is thinking. There's generally something I can go to that's going to help calm me down and get me to where it is, where I want to be. And one thing I've discovered is that you can recall a memory of like being on a beach on a perfect day and everything was great. Well, you can also see the future in the same vibrant feeling and color that creates the I am there, just like it created the I was there. So,
Absolutely.
and you do that in goal achievement with the snapshot at the end when you're creating your own snapshot. Now, for me, I had a lot of goals combined in my goal achievement. It was packed with a big full basket. And I know that your goal achievement kind of says focus on a goal, like one. Oh, I just needed to put them all together. So, and I couldn't separate them because they were all too important to me. So, what I did was focus at the snapshot in the end, that what I would look like the moment I achieved all these goals.
Ooh, love it.
And I would be on that waterfall's descent, um, everything done, accomplishing this trip, being in this place. And I had that actual snapshot now. That actual moment in time came and it represented everything. So I didn't see me just winning an award or me just with $10,000 in the bank or me losing over 100 pounds. I saw me sitting on the mountainside, having achieved all my goals because that's where it was leading.
I love it. I love it. Well, I just have a couple more quick questions for you because, pertaining to, so you didn't have the benefit back then of this community that I am creating now, where each week we are going to be, taking a different aspect of these, limiting beliefs that people deal with on a daily basis that struggle and helping them to, break through their, using things like goal achievement, using things like overcoming the imposter syndrome, using things like client magnetism and all of that over like a 6 month period of time to take them from where they are now, whether that's zero, whether that's 2,000, whether it's 5,000, and taking them to finally having their breakthrough $10,000 a month. And we do this through not only we do this through, of course, the programming, doing weekly calls, live weekly activation calls, doing this through a group, a mastermind of people who are exchanging ideas with each other. And not just that, but supporting each other. This is the most supportive school that there is in spirituality. Trust me. I mean, we like literally just went to number 14 out of all the schools, at all the spirituality schools. And we're doing that through accountability, making sure that people actually do the thing that they say that they're going to do, taking action, that self-discipline
Yeah.
piece, because it's so easy sometimes to slip and say, I'm going to listen to this, but then not actually take any action on it. And
Mhm.
so that is a big part of what we're doing. So if you, back in 2010, had an opportunity to join something like this, and we're talking about like less than $100 a month for this mastermind program, what would you, have told would your younger self have joined something like this?
Well, I know what masterminds are. I'm a very big fan of who is it? I'm a very big fan of. You know who does?
Napoleon Hill, yeah.
Yeah. It. Before I met you, I listened to a lot of Napoleon Hill. So had you offered a live, current, living, modern day version of what Napoleon Hill discussed, and having groups of masterminds, I think and you actually have an idea what that is, it'd have to be kind of idiotic not to join it. I, I'm saying, and here's something else really important about limited beliefs. Have I had limited beliefs on some things? Of course I have. I think it's human nature. Everybody does. If you have done this, the moment I tendered my first $9 to you for goal achievement, guess what I did? I unlocked my limited belief. I didn't give you that money because I believed it wouldn't work. Okay. Who would do that? Okay. I believed it would work or I wouldn't have done it. Okay.
So, what would you tell somebody watching this right now who's wondering whether or not to join my Powerful Manifestor Mastermind?
Would I recommend doing it? Yeah. I mean, sincerely and honestly, but you have to have a mustard seed of belief and faith that you will follow through on it. If you just follow through, you'll succeed. You
Yeah.
don't even have to believe in the beginning that you can succeed. You just have to follow through. Nature will take its course.
Yes, absolutely. And for those who are like kind of wondering how, like what percentage would you say is the belief and what percentage would you say is knowing the how?
I don't think the how came from the belief. The belief was before the how. There was no how without the belief. Okay. Because these ideas that I came up with, I did not know I had. I did not know I knew these things. And I'm a college educated woman. I've had success in business. I did not know to think of so many things. But once they came into my mind as a random thought, they're really like random thoughts that, and the good ones, they're not going away. They're just going to keep popping up because you can ignore it all you want, but it's just going to keep popping up.
On that note, I have I have somebody in like 10 minutes, so I just want to be able to wrap up with you. What, would be like your last final word of wisdom, little nugget that somebody could come
Uh,
away with?
Whatever you do, don't give up on this. Do not have the mindset of, oh, it was 3 months and it didn't work yet. I don't see anything. Well, you're going to see it, but you may not know you see it. Okay. You may not know that that little flutter of something that was going on that wasn't going on before is this first budding of success.
Ooh.
Remember, it's far beneath the bitter snow lies the seed that becomes the rose. Okay. And it's really very much like that because you don't see it until it sprouts up. And if you don't keep nurturing it, it's not going to sprout up. That's
Ooh. That,
attended. So if you give up early, then you're not getting the ROI that you deserve, and that I know for a fact is there.
ooh. That's powerful. That's a powerful note to end on. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Patty. I really appreciate all of your amazing wisdom. I'm just, I'm just so happy that you found me so long ago. And, I mean, it was always within you, right? As you know, it was always within you. And if it wasn't me, you were going to find something. I'm just glad that I'm got to be the one that got in your way.